Wearing a seatbelt is the most effective way of saving your life and reducing injuries, yet so many people refuse to wear one. The state lawmakers should present the legislation to make wearing a seatbelt a primary law. Many lives could be saved if we all just make that simple decision to buckle up. We live in an area where private vehicles are relied upon, and so we should all know and have the knowledge to buckle up every time we get into a vehicle. Your life could flash before your eyes in a blink of a second, and if you are not wearing your seatbelt, it could result in life-threatening injuries. If we all just make that one simple choice, we could reduce so many fines, excuses, and injuries. Not wearing a seatbelt causes many serious, fatal, and debilitating injuries. In an article, Policy Impact on Seatbelts, it stated that in 2014, motor vehicle crashes were the leading cause of death among those aged 1 to 54 in the United States. 21,022 people died because of not wearing their seatbelt, and only 12,802 people survived because they were wearing their seatbelt. In an article, Driving Without Seatbelt Statistics in 2011, more than half of teens and young adults died because of not being restrained. Teens and young adults have the highest percentage of people that do not wear their seatbelt. 2.3 million people were treated in emergency areas because they were injured in an accident, stated from an article, Seatbelts on Get the Facts. That article also stated that between the years of 2003 to 2012, 277,245 people died because of not wearing their seatbelt. That is a huge number. In a teen shares story after seatbelt saves her life, in 2012, Mackenzie Berger of Platteview High, Nebraska, was in a serious collision. A pickup pulled out in front of her and hit her passenger side vehicle door. Mackenzie was luckily wearing her seatbelt and only endured little injuries, including a broken thumb and a concussion. Sadly, the driver of the pickup was not wearing his seatbelt and died at the crash. It goes to show how effective a seatbelt is and how easily it could save your life. Wearing a seatbelt is a secondary law, but if it were a primary law, more lives may be saved. Research shows that primary enforcement on seatbelts makes people buckle up. A primary law means that officers can pull you over for not wearing your seatbelt. But on the other hand, a secondary law only means that an officer can pull you over if you have done some other offense, including going through a red light or speeding. If you are wearing your seatbelt, it could also encourage others in the vehicle to buckle up as well. Be the role model. Seatbelt use in 2015 was 91% in states where they had primary enforcement on seatbelts, but only 79% in areas where they had secondary enforcement on seatbelts. Not only is it a law, it is an act that can save your life. No matter where you are going or what you are doing, it is always important to buckle up. It protects us from needless injuries and deaths. There are 5 ways in which a seatbelt protects you, stated Angela Oyster-Huber in an article, Seatbelts and How They Save Lives. It keeps the occupant inside the vehicle, it restrains the strongest parts of the body, it slows the body down, it spreads out any force from the collision, and it protects the brain and spinal cord. Every state should have a primary law on seatbelts. No excuses should be made. According to Peters on seatbelt excuses, troopers have heard them all. He stated that there are so many excuses as to what people come up with as to why they're not wearing their seatbelt. Some including, I forgot, I was in a hurry, I'm not going that far, it's uncomfortable, I'll be fine, don't worry. But really, there should be no excuses as to why you aren't wearing your seatbelt. It's not that hard, just put it on. No matter where you are going or how far you're going, buckle up. No matter if you're sitting in the front seat or the back seat, it doesn't matter. You should always have your seatbelt on. According to State Observational Survey on Seatbelts, only 67% of South Dakota wore their seatbelt in 2012. That number is nowhere close to where it should be. That number would dramatically increase if there was a primary law on seatbelts. To make this plan effective, the legislation should pass a primary enforcement law on wearing seatbelts. The fines should increase. As of right now, it's only $25 in South Dakota if you are not wearing your seatbelt and an officer pulls you over. That goes to show that people think that it's not that big of a deal if I'm not wearing my seatbelt. But in reality, it is. Police and state troopers should enforce and watch carefully so that everyone is wearing their seatbelt. There's laws, education, technology that should all encourage everyone to buckle up. In conclusion, many lives and injuries could be saved if we all just make that one simple choice to put our seatbelt on every time we're in a vehicle. Make it a habit of yours that every time you get into a vehicle, you buckle up. After seeing statistics of the deaths and injuries, there should no longer be excuses as to why you don't wear your seatbelt. It only takes a few seconds, so just do it. And that's why the state lawmakers should present this legislation to make wearing a seatbelt a primary law.